Welcome back to my studio. Today we're going to be looking at another way to mount and flatten fiber-based prints using the VEVOR 5-in-1 heat press. Years ago when the channel started, I did a video on how to flatten and mount fiber-based prints using a large Seal brand heat press. And they are hard to find, they're expensive when you do find, and they take up a lot of room. So it's not really a solution for everyone. I was contacted by a company that sells what's called the VEVOR brand of heat press that is designed for the vinyl application for t-shirts and mugs and things like that, asking if I wanted to try their press out for photographs. I thought, why not? The price was good. So they went ahead and sent one to me, as well as the accessories for mugs and stuff like that. And I wanted to see, is it good enough to flatten fiber-based prints, and is it good enough to dry mount fiber-based prints? Or RC, if you want to do that too. I'm using Seal color mount. I've got a print here with some tissue already attached. It's color mount. You can use it to dry mount RC and color prints as well, but fiber is usually what most people use. So to get things started, I have a print trimmed. I've got the tissue on the back. We're going to mount it to this board. So we'll just kind of get it centered real quick. Let's just do this while we're on here. I'm not going to get this perfect. This is just a throwaway print, throwaway board. And I'm just using some matte board. What's the art side? I think this is the art side. Some fiber board, acid-free board from the local craft store. All right, that's good enough. And to tack it on, I have a tacking iron, but it doesn't seem to work anymore. And I haven't been wanting to go get a new one because they're expensive. And it's actually, I'm going to digress here for a moment. That is common for stuff that's labeled for photographic purposes being way overpriced. The little Seal tacking iron that I use from B&H is ridiculously expensive. You can get the same press for veneer application for $80 online. You can even get that cheaper if you get rid of the veneer in your search and just look for hobby press or hobby iron, and you're going to find it for $30 or $40. It's ridiculous. This is just, I don't know, it's for yarn and little patches, I guess, but it's a little iron, but it works really, really well. That was on the low setting and it tacked it. And this was $30. All right. Anyway, so we've got the print attached here. We're going to dry mount that in a moment. Before we do that, we're going to flatten this fiber print. It's a scrap print. And as you can see, it's quite wavy on the side. So we're going to do both of those. So let's get the press up here, get it turned on. This is not going to be a tutorial on how to use the press. There are really good videos going through all the functions and everything like that. We're just going to focus on the purpose we are using today. So let's get the press up on the table and go from there. All right, here we have it. Got it plugged in, and we're going to go ahead and try it. As you can see, it's relatively small. This is the 11x14 print in relation. The platen is not very big relative to the print. This is like a 12x15 inch print, or platen size, 11x14 inch print size. So you are limited on how big you can go. There are smaller heat presses, like the Seal type. I've had one that was 8x10 only, one that was 11x14. So they do make smaller Seal heat presses. Now I've got a 16x20 size. But this guy, 11x14 at most. And you can change the temperature on here. I already have it set. Like I said, there are good videos showing how to use it for things like that. But basically you just hit mode a couple of times, set your top and bottom temperatures and go from there. And you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, depending on where you live. So it's going to get hot. We're going to let this cycle up for a few minutes while it gets hot. It has a swing away bed, which is nice. So you can get down in here. So it's got our pad to compress. And what I've got in here are 2 pieces of that same acid-free board and then a piece of silicone impregnated, what is that? Parchment paper. And that's just kind of like a release paper. So we're going to keep this down under pressure, and we're going to let everything get hot. We'll come back once it's hot and we'll mount and flatten these 2 prints. Okay, this is now heated up. I've got it set at about 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That is what seal color mount should be set to. We're going to try to work this from the back side. This is not normally where I'd be to do this, so it might seem a little off. But let's go ahead and flatten the print. Swing that out of the way. Let's get the 11x14 print in here. And you want to really make sure that the boards underneath have gotten hot. That's very important. The press itself is great, but unless you get the boards hot underneath, it's not going to do its job. So we're going to let this sit for about a minute, and then we'll take it out and see how it flattened on the edges. All right, about a minute has passed. Let's see where we're at here. Oh yeah, that's worked pretty well. Now at this point, I'd want to get it under something flat to cool it. Let's see if we can get the big camera here. So under a big heavy piece of glass, some books, something like that, in order to allow it to stay flat. But this worked pretty well. So very pleased with that. And that's 11x14, the biggest we're going to get on this press. Let's go ahead and get our board lined back up. You do not want to do this without the board between the hot platen and your print. You will scald it or damage it in some way. So make sure you get some board, just some acid-free rag board. The silicone release paper is nice, but not absolutely necessary. Okay, all right, let's dry mount this. I hope I used the right side of the board. I'm not sure I did. I might have this on the back side. Oh well. For the purpose of what we're doing, that doesn't matter. Okay, so let's put this in. And let's give that about 2 minutes. So let's set a timer. Okay. So timer's over. Let's check this out. Oh yeah, that worked really, really well. So we are mounted nice to the board. That is not going to come off. So again, you would want to flatten this or let it cool under something large, flat, big piece of enameled metal, thick, heavy piece of plate glass, books, whatever. And that will make sure everything is set. And this worked really, really well. So nice pressure. You can adjust the pressure on here if you need to get it more even. The pad is, looks like it's easy to get replacement foam should something happen. And of course it's versatile. This is meant for doing like t-shirt designs, cups, stuff like that. So if you have a little side business and you want to use it for that, you can. And it comes with accessories for cups and hats and whatnot. You can certainly use those for mounting photographs on cylindrical or curved surfaces. There's no reason why you couldn't, depending on the project that you're working on. But I'll tell you now, and this is the art teacher of me coming out. If you're going to do something like that, make sure it's because it enhances the work, it informs the photographs that you're doing, and it's not just a novelty. Because if it's a novelty and it doesn't make the work speak more to what you're trying to say, then it's just going to be a distraction. But if it does work for your ideas and your concepts, then this would certainly do it. The press, and there will be a link down in the description, the whole set is $220, which may seem like a lot, I realize, for a kind of a single purpose tool. But the seal mount press, the 11x14 seal press, is currently listed on B&H for $2,400. So this is less than 10% the cost for the same mount size. There are larger sizes of these available that are more affordable than the larger seal presses, which start to get into like the $3,600 range for new. Used, you can get them less, but they're hard to find. Nobody wants to ship them because they're very heavy. So this does the job. I do recommend using one if this is the purpose you need. I feel like you're going to get a lot of good use out of it. It's going to do what you want. It's going to last a while. And it has the versatility of doing other things if you need to do some of the craft work. Like my wife has a Cricut cutter machine. So this allows her to do a bunch of other projects, and I can use it for mounting prints without having to dig out my big giant press, which is not exactly the easiest to move around and is not currently easily accessible. You are limited to size. Like I said, this is 11x14. The post here in the middle does prevent you from doing larger work. But 11x14 matte size with an 8x10 print size, which is what I've got here, is not a bad size at all. And then this is 8x10. It doesn't even include like a border. So if I had printed, this is just a large print cut down, but if I had made an 8x10 print, there'd be a white border that probably would have been trimmed off. If I was shooting 35mm, this would be a 6x9 image on an 11x14 board, so I'd have even more margin. So that's really about it today. Just wanted to show you, because I've been asked a lot, ways to flatten fiber prints without one of those big, giant, expensive presses. Still a press, still just over $200, but that is far less than getting a seal press. And it's very heavy, but it's not too difficult to move around and put away if you need to. It also gives you versatility for other things. There are other means of flattening fiber prints. We'll cover those one day. That's not what this video is about. So VEVOR heat press, link down in the description if you're looking for one. I do not get commission on any sales. This is just because they wanted me to try it out, and I think it actually works pretty well. So thank you for watching. If you'd like to help support this channel, you can actually help, not by going to these links, but by going to the super thanks down here on the bottom corner of the screen. That you can help donate for this video specifically, or any other video that you're watching, for a one-time donation to get me a roll of film or anything like that. Or you can join the memberships up on the tab on the home page, and that'll be a sustained membership that supports month by month. So your support does help get this channel going, keeps buying material so we can do our test evaluations and lessons. And thank you for watching.